Praise Almighty Yah. We want to welcome the members of our congregation back, as well as our internet audience, to our 7th-day Sabbath Holy Convocation. We just had our lunch, and the Almighty says, or the Scripture says, when thou hast eaten and are full, then shall you, what? Give thanks and praise to the mighty Yah. And we do this so that we can get comfortable with thanking Yah when we full, and not just always when we want something. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
You want to do it? Should somebody have a brother? We got a brother right here. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Dear Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you for the blessed meal that you gave us today. It blesses us and nourishes our bodies. In your name, Father, Yah, we pray. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Now, again. Hallelujah.
Praise Almighty Yah. This is the portion where we come together. We praise Yah, and we come praise Yah in song, poetry, testimonies, any way you like to express yourself. Hallelujah.
Test. Test. Hello, yeah. Turn the song up just a little bit. Yeah. As I keep you with my lyrics, weakness, I am precious, sensitive, and shine with like eagles, but the curse upon my team around my neck. And yet I see the words that cloud they experience. Cry across the most and cry, we should know the period. Live up for the understanding, gold and silver petals, battles, daggers on my vessels, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, fury, Yah is my treasure vessels. And that's why I'm pressed. Have I tried to die? Long as I were all alone. God is with them, watch it come upon them, fiercely key knives in my eyes, just call my cool one. I feel judging from the past, the spirit of Yah fell on his back attack, never leaving hot from Elohim. Yes. Young lions lack the sight and eat the hiding on the sparrow. Niggas try to spit on Pharaoh, red go to the ground. Fear Yahweh in the ground. When I speak, he believe it's time for releasing on the enemy. Propeller sergeants to the game. Gave us rest for 40 years. God was who was brave. The power is Yah. The spirit came upon him. Spirit came upon him. Swinging all around him up the spine. Watch his power. Meet the two eyes. I yell. Power is Yah. The power is Yah. The battle is Yah. The spirit came upon him. The spirit came upon him. Evil devil daggers. Sick how we sick on them. Harvest is right through my kinfolk. Son of evil. Creeping castles to the Batman for the chosen. Dead evil in the sight of the commander. 18 years. Captain 18 inches. Inches in the stars. I sketching concealed on my right thigh. But I'm left-handed. Assassination spot. King of Moab. He blinded his palace. Let away some men with gifts. And I turned to the queries. Callers for silence. Sent this man out his majesties. He bossed on his summer parlor. I came in with a message from my Elohim. I need you to be bothered. The king of rose. That's when my daggers imposed. The handles vanished. Tucking emptied out his barrels. I led the boys that locked the door before the matter was known. Retreated to my man of war. Blow up trumpets, rails. Time is now delivered you out the hands of your oppressor. Take the force into Jordan. 10,000 men of valor. You got been, we had peace for 80 years. You know. 80 years, man. 80 years. Every time I give him a mission, he always forget it. Every time I give him a mission, he always pay attention. They soon forget they little faith. This world's winning continuously. In these last days, you'll consider it. Now will you Mesopotamia? Jail time, years 8. Student feel it's time to commission. I know he will render. Watch it come upon him. The juice. Watch it come upon him. The juice. The student pastor's teacher. Keynotes. Just know pastor's teacher. Watch it come upon him. The juice. The spirit came upon him. The spirit came upon him. The battle is Yah. The spirit came upon him. Swinging on the ground him up the spine. Watch his power. Meet the two eyes. I yell. More power to Yah. The spirit came upon him. Keynotes. His son, pastor's teacher. Yeah. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my daughters of Zion, hallelujah. Yeah. I said, yeah, I still them in my hand, y'all me. Moving the unity. I can show you the mind, the Elohim. Let me go, I'm your torch. I acknowledge y'all, the one and only who anoints. Yeah, cause you're the chosen be me. This your purpose, be me. Hold you close, be me. You a judge, baby. What it do? Yo, see the warrior on palm tree. Say it 3 times. Yeah, cause you're my chosen be me. In the exalt, captain in the host was Sarah. Constructed ego shot. Even got about it. Yeah, king the nicest next. For my people, pride. They got a judges at the time. Was a warrior, got that. 900 chariots of volume. I can be oppressive between Mama and Bethel and the Mount of Ephraim. She's willing at night. She can manage raw talk. Now 10,000 of men of natural lions at the line. I'ma come up on Keyshawn to see Sarah, the captain from Iraq. Only if you go with me will I go up too. Surely notwithstanding, the journey is not for your own honor, but shall be delivered to the hands of a woman. Hey, yeah, I set them in my hand, yeah, me. Moving the unity. I can show you the mind that Elohim. Let me go, I'm your torch. I acknowledge y'all, the one and only who anoints. Yeah, cause you're the chosen be me. This your purpose, be me. Hold you close, be me. You a judge, baby. What it do? Yo, see the warrior on palm tree. Say it 3 times. Yeah, cause you're my chosen be me. Hey, where am I in? Step out the upper Exodus. 7 steps from his man. Out the skin and the plains of Tanayim. You know right like a death. The hit, gather about 900. All with dumb heavy steps. We're up like a truck, encouraged by the judge. Rush with gas like the spears. Yes, the spears fell upon me with the hand of ill. Probably sharpened in their heart. Now back up off me, plus the peace between the kin. See Sarah also was guarded. Y'all ill. Went for the lottery, met the mill on the bill. Mill was filled with loyalty to our camaraderie. The minutes in the latest worries, yeah. To the blind, hurry, yeah. Symbols with their narrow ring. I'm snapping this belly. Yeah, I set them in my hand, yeah, me. Moving the unity. I can show you the mind that Elohim. Let me go, I'm your torch. I acknowledge y'all, the one and only who anoints. Yeah, cause you're the chosen be me. This your purpose, be me. Hold you close, be me. You a judge, baby. What it do? Yo, see the warrior on palm tree. Say it 3 times. Yeah, cause you're my chosen be me. Yeah. Praise God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. There it is. Praise Yahweh. All right, I'm good. We're going to go now.
All right, I'm going to read a psalm. Let's go to Psalm 25. Psalm 25. while we are getting our music together. Psalm 25. You ready, YP? Yeah, I'm going to do a song, but I want y'all to be prepared, please, to be step right up so we won't have large gaps. Psalm 25:1 says, Unto thee, O Yah, do I lift up my soul. O my Yah, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Y'all remember that song, King? Let not my enemy triumph over me. That's a song that one of the congregations down in Tennessee sung. Maybe we'll sing that as a congregation one day. It's a great congregational song. Of course, I can't sing it by myself, but it's good. And what it is that it's a song to Yah saying, let not my enemies triumph over me. Yea, let none that wait on thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without a cause. Show me thy ways, O Yah, and teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth, Almighty Yah, and teach me, for thou art the Elohim of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. Remember, O Yah, thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness, for they have been of old. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercies, remember me for thy goodness' sake, O Yah. Good and upright is Yah. Therefore will he teach transgressors in the way. And that's what we're here to do. We as transgressors, we're here to learn the way of Yah. The meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his way. Who he's going to teach his way? The meek. All the paths of Yah are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Yah, pardon my iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth Yah? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. The secret of Yah is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Mine eyes are ever toward Yah, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, O Yah, and have mercy upon me, mighty Yah, for I am desolate and I am afflicted. The troubles of my heart are enlarged, O Yah. O bring thou me out of my distresses, O mighty Yah, please. Look upon my affliction and my pain, O mighty Yah, and please forgive all of my sins. Consider mine iniquities, consider mine enemies, for they are many, and they that hate me with a cruel hatred. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Redeem Israel, O Elohim, out of all his troubles. Out of how many of his troubles? All of our troubles. Because we got an Elohim that we can call on for what? All things. Hallelujah. Next performer. Next time I'm going to read Psalm 119.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Yeah, the top. You can turn my phone up, please. It's nice to see everybody's faces. Glad to be here on the seventh day. Give praises to the Almighty, because it's his day.
Hallelujah.
It's the only day we got. Go ahead and play that music whenever you're ready. Hands up, hey. Hands up, hey. If you know the Most High, hands up, hey. Hands up, hey. Hands up, hey. If you know the Most High, hey. strong in his loss to be a man. Study his word, be a part of the plan, yeah. I can see the rainbow from where I stand. Remember the promise he made to the land. Let's flood the world again, 40 days, 40 nights, oh man. His mercy endures forever. My Elohim cannot be measured. No gather the 600 holy days, no don't be out doing action. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, no, don't be out doing your pleasures. We gotta make it through this weather. We have to make it through this weather, yeah. So why should I ever be worried? My blessings are arriving here shortly. After I give y'all glory. All glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. All glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, roll with the words, flow with the word, walk with the word. Yeah, roll with the word, flow with the word. Yeah, giving praises to his name. Yeah, all glory goes to the Elohim. My rock, my staff. My rock, my staff, the power I need just come from field. Just come from field, the comfort he feeds me. I have to obey, you see. Yeah, his words will never go void. Fuck guys, we have to deploy. Call on his name and feel the joy like you receiving a toy. Yeah, I seen my father destroy. I seen my father build up. Yeah, I learned that wide is enough. Yeah, I learned that man is enough. All glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, roll with the words, flow with the words, walk with the words, roll with the words, flow with the words. Give praises to his name. All glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, all glory goes to the Father, Yahweh. He is our Elohim. Yeah, roll with the words, flow with the word, walk with the word, roll with the word, flow with the word. Praise God, praise God. Give it praises to his name. Yeah, all glory goes, all glory goes. Our Elohim, yeah, all glory goes, all glory goes. Yahweh, Elohim, praise God.
Hallelujah.
I want you to guide my way, lead my steps, relieve my stress, and put me to the test. I want you to guide my way, lead my steps, relieve my stress, and put me to the test. I want to believe in God. I choose to believe in God. Believe in the word of God. Hey, hey, hey. Believe in the word of God. Hey, hey, hey. Believe in the word of Yahweh. Believe in the word of God. Hey, hey, hey. Believe in the word of Yahweh. I'm on my way about my day. I need your guidance. All the praises to your name. I feel the spirit get excited. Though it's silent, I don't walk alone. The shield is needed. I've been slipping, trying to make it home. I'm staying strong, but like the fit where I belong. But my ways could be wrong. Believe it, fear your name, and walk around the path of Job. Hope you got that message. Thank you for clothes on my back. If not, I'll bring it back and also usher to guide my way. Get. Lead my steps. Relieve my stress. And put me to the test. I want you to guide my way. Lead my steps. Relieve my stress. And put me to the test. I want to believe in God. I choose to believe. hey. Believe in the word of Yahweh. Once again, Yahweh, I'm asking for correction. Where I'm stepping, my heart is stubborn, heavy, and I need a blessing. I want to see my people walking in the right direction. Instead of losing they cool over this Wi-Fi connection, I'm saying please let that blessing in disguise, hey. And understand why the haters in their eyes, yeah. And understand that we all meant to fly. So soar like an eagle, keep your head up to the sky, hey.
Guide my way, lead myself, relieve my stress, and put me to the test. I want you to guide my way, lead myself, relieve my stress, and put me to the test. I want to believe in God. I choose to believe in God. Believe in the word of God.
Hey, hey, hey.
Believe in the word of God.
Hey, hey, hey.
Believe in the word of Yahweh. Believe in the word of Yahweh. Believe in the word of Yahweh. I want you to guide my way. Lead my steps. Relieve my stress. And put me to the test. I want you to guide my way. Lead my steps. Relieve my stress. And put me to the test. I want to believe in God. I choose to believe in God. Believe in the word of God.
Hey, hey, hey.
Believe in the word of God.
Hey, hey, hey.
Believe in the word of Yahweh. Believe in the word of Yahweh.
Hey, hey, hey.
Believe in the word of Yahweh.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Yes. They don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. They don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. They don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. They don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. Living in the ghetto, I mean life no easy. Every morning me have to find some money. Feed me, feed me, take a need. Like, look up to here and look up Terry. Make them up on this in the police chase after me. Make them up on this in me happy fight to be free. Say enough for them people, they gon' talk about me. But this I am on the street about reality. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. Me have to ask God to bless me. I know that only God can save me. I tell you, Satan, let go me and me not want no more of your temptation. Stay at me face, you are big disgrace. Me rather have ya come take over your spirit. Me know that you're wicked and me know that you're wrong. So come back to hell and leave this man la 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 la. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause I know what's in store. Me don't wanna hustle no more, 'cause Babylon, I don't wanna live that life no more. Yes. Me want more, 'cause I know what's in store. Me wanna hustle no more.
Trying to watch my step because the advantages I have doesn't show me my success and truly blessed. But I've been upset at the things I don't possess because my currency currently doesn't give a man respect. Even with lots of wisdom running through my flesh, gold links around my neck don't connect with the laws that was set. Sometimes I often forget, so I have to ask myself, man, am I truly blessed?
Yeah.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Shabbat Shalom, family. First and most, I want to give our praise and glory to Yah by saying hallelujah. He woke us up this morning, kept us safe, allowed for us to be here for another great Shabbat class. I want to thank Yah for this being in my life. Because if it wasn't for Yah, I don't know where I would be. I thank Yah for, just watching over me day by day, night by night. I thank Yah for, this caring for me. He wait on me, I wait on him. I just want to thank Yah for all the good things that he done brought me. All my, blessings. I just thank Yah for, just listen to my prayers. And I got a testimony, it's just a testimony. Give all praise to Yah because she was having a hard time at her job. They going back on it, they want her to work on the Sabbath. And she had an agreement with her boss, and I told her that she should have got it in writing. Because now he's saying that he didn't say that. So they expecting her at her job. Because they, like false witness. They said an elder there told them that Jessica wouldn't help her. And stuff like that. And I told Jessica, and that elder didn't say that. They trying their best to destroy you. They see something in you that they don't see in themselves. So Jessica, she a hard worker. She love what she do. She love taking care of elders. So Yahweh open up the door and bless her with another job at Goodwill. So I just want to give all praise to Yah. Oh, I'm sorry, Mayflow. I want to give all praises to Yah for that because Yahweh, he's there. All he wanted us to do was call on him. And, he's there. Yahweh he been good. He been really good. I mean, my job is, it's okay. Hear a lot of stuff. I got this one lady, she worked with me, and I guess she asked what them was on my clothes. I saw them fringes. She said, what are fringes? And I told her what they was. She was like, so you mean the 10 Commandments in the Bible? I told her, yeah. So ever since I told her about what the fringes mean, her whole spirit just changed against me. I'm in my job, I'm doing dishes, and she coming in, she slamming the dishes. I mean, if you see something different in me that you don't see in yourself, come to me and ask me, what are them fringes, what they mean? Where you got this glow about you. I don't have an old employee came and said, you got a glow about you. And I thought it was the grease, because I always put grease on my face. So I thought that's what it was. She was like, no, you got a glow about you. It's a good glow. And I just thank Yahweh that when, our people see me, they see a glow. And this person, she was a Caucasian. But, she was real cool. She's nice. And it's just, I just like getting out there praising Yah. One guy, when I was like, I hope I'm spraying it to you, he was like, I see the passion, when I talk about Yah. And that just, I know that made Yah feel good because they made me feel good. And, so I just want to give all praise to Yah. And my sister Nora, this is her testimony. She was for the right to tell me what she wanted to say. But my sister Nora, she been ill. She been fighting, with Crohn's ever since she was 12 years old. And they do a lot to her. And she asked the Almighty, this to take her pain away for 3 days, and he did. She was able to do what she wanted to do what she needed to do. And, I just want to thank Yah because he's good. I love him. I love Yah. And I'm going to praise him and give him glory till I can't praise him no more. So hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I just want to say something real quick about that job scenario. If ever you have your employer trying to place something called undue hardship on you because of your religious beliefs or because of our way of life, especially Sabbath, your fringes or anything like that, they cannot do that. It's against the law. So if you require your Sabbath days off, even if you just became an Israelite a week ago and you need the Sabbath day off, they're not allowed to discriminate against you for that. You can actually sue a company for doing that because that's called undue hardship. However, and I'll go ahead and read it for you, just so you guys can know, like, because this stuff happens every day and we just need to be aware of certain things like this. Because Yahweh's law is above man's law. But it says the Civil Rights Act prohibits employment discrimination based on religion. Specifically, employers must accommodate an employee's sincerely held religious beliefs or practices. For example, employers must be flexible with dress and grooming practices that are religious in nature. Employers must also make accommodations for employees whose religion teaches them not to work on Sabbath. This applies even if the employee has recently adopted the religious belief, has not consistently observed it, or observed it differently from most people who belong to the same religion. So look more into that. The Most High said we destroy for lack of knowledge. I just want y'all to know and be aware of the rights that you have, even within this corrupt society. That you can actually UPS had got, they had lost some money. They had got sued because they was making some of their employees cut their beards off. Right. They got sued for that because somebody took a stand and said, nah, you can't do that. You can't limit me from having a specific job because you want me to shave my beard off when I already work here and it's under a union at that. So just be aware of your rights that you have. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And if it ain't in writing, it didn't happen.
If it ain't in writing, it didn't
If it
happen.
ain't in writing, it didn't happen.
So we have letters here for people to take to their prospective employers, just to have it on file. Even if you haven't had it on file, just get it on file and take it and let them know. Ask them to put it in your file. Put it on your application. I say get the job first, then tell them. But in any event, go ahead and. But you always want to be honest. So you want to be honest, and don't falsify anything, But knowing that law exists, get the job, and then, All right.
Praise God. You started over? Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom. How we doing?
Shabbat shalom.
Hallelujah. All right, go ahead. Praise God. We're going to turn it off to y'all. The song is called Lit. We got a lot to be lit for Yahweh about. You feel me? I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the leaf in the light. I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the lit in the leaf. I'll put the leaf in the light. Lit, the leaf is light. Lit, the leaf is light. Praise God. Praise God. Listen, I'll put the lit in the leaf. Who praise y'all like me? If you praise y'all like me, then we can have you to eat. I'll put the lit in the leaf. Shine bright so you can see. Learn to walk courageously. Only no cowards will flee. Listen, I put the lit in the leaf. I won't settle for defeat. I won't turn on other cheek. Gotta build and decrease and delete all this negativity, envy and jealousy. Man, get that away from me. Man, I thought we was brothers. They try to cross me like a T. I put the lit in the leaf cause Yahweh put his light in me. I'm lit like a Christmas tree. We don't do no Christmas G. No longer do Christianly. Erasing iniquity. Are you a lion or sheep? Are you awake or you sleep? Watch who you calling your peace. Cause wolves dressing as sheep. We got too much grief. We just got it back and cheap. I'm a Hebrew, not a Greek. The truth of Yahweh be on fleek. Lit. Lit. I put a leaf in the light. Lit. Lit.
I'm a geek. Why are we so divided? We supposed to have the same beliefs. We agree to disagree as long as y'all wait on GNT. Everybody wanna preach, but the truth is out of reach. Battery, fantasy, got the whole world following the sea. Why do we fight over things that belong to the meek? From the greatest to the least, they will all bow down to y'all. I can wait till I truly shine on everyone that doubted y'all. Yahweh gave us light so we can know the times. Yahweh opened up the eyes of the freaking blind. I've been doing time in the land that isn't mine. I can't wait till we go home so I can truly shine. Yahweh's salvation is colorblind. But he said them Israelites are mine. He wrote Israel on his hand. He said we Israel without end. This the end game, cause the ending will be better than it began. Huh? Lit. I put a leaf in this light. I put the lit in the leaf. I put a leaf in this light. Lit in the leaf, in the leaf, in this light. I put lit in the leaf, in the leaf, in this light. I put lit in the leaf, in the leaf, in this light. I put lit in the leaf, in the leaf, in this light. Praise Yah. He said I put the lit in the leading Israelite. Praising Yahweh, that's what it's all about. That's what we was made for. You got the wicked out there being lit for wickedness. But you got Israel, we looking like we sleep. Well, we got the creator of heaven, earth, and seas with us. So what we scared of, you feel me? Trying to get lit for y'all. I put the lit in the leaf, lit. I put the lit in the leaf, lit. I put the lit in the leaf, I put the leaf in the light. I put the lit in the leaf, lit. I put the lit in the leaf, lit. I put the lit in the leaf, I put the leaf in the light, lit.
The leaf, in the leaf, in the light. I put the leaf in the leaf, in the leaf, in the light. I put the leaf in the leaf, in the leaf, in the light. I put the leaf in the leaf, in the leaf, in the light.
Praise God.
Hallelujah.
The next one. You're. You gonna plug? Come on. Next track, please. Is it locked? Praise y'all. Yeah, huh? Praise y'all.
Praise Yah.
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 Praise y'all. Yahweh. 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 Say Yahweh is the blood. Yahweh is the blood. Yahweh is the blood. He get all my love. He get all my trust. Yahweh is the blood. God gets all the glory, honor, and respect. He don't give respect, so that's why he at our necks. I don't know the future, I can't tell you what is next. All I know is Yahweh's laws. Every Sabbath day I rest. On that 8th day I circumcise my son's flesh. Had to circumcise my heart so I could pass Yahweh's test. God's plugging me with blessings, I can see them manifest. Always calling on my blood, cause he always come correct. Ain't no evil in the city which Yahweh didn't cause. Keeping Yahweh's laws that would never pause. I'm praising Yahweh and that takes a lot of pause. They wanna see me fall on a plug I call. Yahweh is the plug. Yahweh is the plug. Yahweh is the plug. He get all my love. He get all my trust. Yahweh, cause Yahweh is the plug. Ain't no evil in the city which Yahweh didn't cause. I'm trying to praise Yahweh and keep all of his laws. Yahweh is my blood. Your God is just a blood. What they done to his son, there's gonna be some blood. Damn right they gotta pay for what they did to us. The earth is Yahweh's footstool. He gon' crush it like a bug. Yahweh is my plug and I'm all in re-enough. Watch it make you clean, man. It's time to clean it up. Yah is purging me with mercy. I know they wanna hurt me. He gon' bless those that bless me and curse those that curse me. Yahweh is my plug and he plugging me with life. Plugging me with children that I'm getting from my wife. Plugging me with wisdom and knowledge and what is right. Plugging me with strength cause it's time to fight or take flight. Man, come on. Ain't no evil in the city which Yahweh didn't cause. Keeping Yahweh that would never pause. I'm trying to praise Yahweh. They wanna see me fall on my plug I call. Yahweh is the plug. Yahweh is the plug. Yahweh is the plug. He get all my love. He get all my trust. Yahweh, cause Yahweh is the plug. Ain't no evil in the city which Yahweh didn't cause. I'm trying to praise Yahweh and keep all of his laws. They say Yahweh is my plug. Yahweh is the plug. Yahweh is the plug. He get all my love. He get all my trust. Yahweh, cause Yahweh is the plug. Ain't no evil in the city which Yahweh didn't cause. I'm trying to praise Yahweh and keep all of his laws. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, brothers. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So we're going to go ahead and we only have a short time left for the class, but we do want to get into this discussion about Tracy Hunter before we go, and just have some discussions and get you all's opinions. I have an article that I want to read, and then after I read the article, I have a couple scriptures. So the first thing. The first thing that I want to say is earlier today we had a discussion about the situation about Emmett Till. And we talked about how down in Mississippi there were some brothers that we talked about the story of Emmett Till. You know who Emmett Till was, right? Elder DeBoer? Yeah, I'm sure, okay. You, sister, you know who Emmett Till was as well. So we talked about Emmett Till. We talked about a situation where there were some frat brothers, did y'all hear about that? White frat brothers that took a picture of themselves with shotguns next to the monument that they had set up where Emmett Till was found. And it had bullet holes in it, of course, from previous individuals going by shooting at it, as well as we believe they shot at it too. Why would you be there in front of a monument that carries such a sensitive it was such a sensitive monument where a brother was, a young man was beat and put in the river, and his mother had him buried, something that actually sparked the civil rights movement. You know, why would you do that unless you were intended, number one, to cause some additional issues? We do know that the University of Mississippi did not expel the three boys, even though their frat supposedly had suspended them, but the university did not suspend them. If it was one of our people, they would have got suspended because it would have been looked upon as inciting public riot or causing problems in the campus. And you know that city wouldn't have arrested, or the white people in that county wouldn't have arrested unless they would have suspended them or expelled them. And y'all know that to be the truth. So as we talk about the Tracy Hunter situation, there was up top, everybody, class is not over with. Can you remind everybody out there that class is not over, please? And we want to bring out this information so that you all are aware, because these are things that we're going to be facing. These are things as tensions get worse, as the economy starts to suffer, as we go into Jacob's troubles. These are things that we're going to be faced with more and more by individuals who hate our people. And I don't want to present the front that all white people hate our people, or all Caucasians hate our people. But there are many of them that do. There's some of them that do. There's some ignorant people, just ignorant people in the world. And that's even ignorant people among our people. There were three young teenagers that actually beat up a man in Baltimore, Maryland. Beat him senseless. And I got that video that I was prepared to share today as well, to let you know that ignorance doesn't have a color. But at the same time, we got to remember that the Almighty brought us to this nation, and he said in the book of Deuteronomy 28, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 first of all. He said that they will show us no favor. And this is important because some of the things that we think that are over are going to resurface themselves. And we as Israel have to be intelligent enough to know when they resurface themselves, and so that we don't overreact, or we don't react with emotion. And we say, you know what, yeah, that's what Yahweh say gonna happen. And don't think that, and I believe as I've read more about the story about Tracy Hunter, this is what I believe the trap that she fell into, is that she felt that she had the ability to maybe use her credit cards like other people do. Because I've had and do have a company-issued credit card myself. And I know I've seen some people have used a credit card. This one guy used a credit card, charged up a bunch of furniture on it. And he was fired. Because you're not supposed to make no personal charges on those credit cards, unless it's a business justification for it. But I know people that have done it. I mean, that's just the reality. And sometimes when we as Israel do things that other people do, they let us know that you can't do that. And the Almighty let us know that. Because the Almighty let us know that I have put you here in a state of captivity. So Deuteronomy 28, let's go to the 15th verse. It says, but it shall come to pass, you ready, King? If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and all his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee. Now I want to take you down to some of the curses. And maybe we need to revisit this a little more. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 26th verse. It says, thy carcass shall be meat unto all the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. And what is that a representation of? When our people were on the ships, what did they do with our bodies? They threw them over, and who ate us? What ate us? The animals, the beasts of the earth ate our dead bodies. 28th verse. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness, and with blindness, and with astonishment of heart. So the madness means that we're not going to have, you know what it means when somebody is mad, right? They don't have the ability to think rationally. Man, that's madness. You don't have the ability to think rationally. And blindness. Blindness means that you don't know who you are. You're blind to the fact of why all of these things are happening to our people. And as Maureen Alicia used to say, I'll quote it again, that we are the only people that have been taken out of our land by the act of captivity and has never returned until this day. But instead, we have integrated, we have assimilated, and we have evaporated right into the midst of this society. We have no flag. We have no home land that we can say, I'm going back to Nigeria, or I'm going back to this. Well, we do, and but we didn't come over here voluntarily. We came over here as a result of the great slave trade, which was all that the Almighty, which is what the Almighty is talking about here in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Let's go down to the 32nd verse. 32nd verse says, thy sons and thy daughters, while you're on the plantation, shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So there was a time when our people were on these plantations and they would sell our children off, and there was no might in our hand to get them back. And this is the same thing that we're going to go through if we don't educate our children. If we don't educate our children to stand on the right, to seek the peace of the city, they're going to be out here doing what they want to do. And they're going to get pulled over because they was going 26 instead of 25. And then they're going to come to the car and they're going to put their nose in the window and they're going to sniff the car. And then they might smell something. And then the ball goes to rolling from there. And that's why we try to teach you all and our children to be very careful about the things that you do, about how you roll, about how you move when you're in this society. Go to the 34th verse. Can you read the 34th verse?
So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see.
And aren't the people mad at the sight of their eyes, which they see, which was going on about Tracy Hunter? Is that true or not? They're mad. They're protesting. And the thing about it is that I really feel for the sister, because she worked her way up through this society thinking that she had equal rights like her counterparts. But the fact of the matter is that all throughout the plight of her career, I would have hoped that she would have saw that she didn't have those same privileges. Because there was a situation when she actually ran for judge that she actually won. And she had to file a lawsuit for them to recount the votes. She had to file a lawsuit for them to recount the votes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read over a few of a story that I read, kind of giving y'all some of the background. Did you read that about the man at the side of your eyes, King?
Yes.
Okay, go down to, where's where they would show you no favor. Point out a couple other verses down here and read them while I'm looking for this article, if you don't mind. Go to 64. Start at 64.
And Yahweh shall...
Am I that boring?
It's not you.
I know, hallelujah. Go ahead.
And,
Go ahead, King.
it shall come to pass that as Yahweh so you do good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Keep going. I said 64.
And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people, from the one end of the earth even to the other. And there thou shalt serve other deities, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
And this is where we're getting these other gods that we're serving from. Go ahead.
And among these nations thou shalt find no ease.
And among these nations you shall find no ease. And even when you think that it have eased up, somehow, some way, if you don't stay in your place, as they say, they're going to put you back in your place. Yahweh's going to cause you to remember. Yahweh is going to cause you to remember this. That look, you still a servant here. Yahweh calls O.J. Simpson to remember that. Yahweh calls a lot of people who have rose to fame, Bill Cosby, that you can't do what the rest of the other people do. I know you see other of your counterparts out there raping these women and doing whatever, whatever the allegations were, giving them these drugs or whatever was going on. And I'm just saying that because I don't really know. I wasn't there to witness it. But if they say that what is true, he was doing everything else that the other people were doing in the film industry. But you can't get away with it like they can get away with it. And I'm saying she was Bill Cosby. Keep going.
And among these nations thou shalt find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow.
And sorrow, man, always some bill, always some problem. If it ain't a problem with us, it's a problem with Cousin Jim, or Uncle Joe, or Aunt somebody, or cousin somebody. Always some kind of problem plaguing us. Go ahead.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
And this is the situation we're in. And it's going to get much worse. It's going to revert back to the way that it was. So now I want to go ahead and read this article, parts of this article. It says, Tracy Hunter entered her office following a controversy and has been embroidered in controversies and legal tangles ever since. But after Friday's indictment alleging the Hamilton County Juvenile Court judge committed 8 felony crimes, including tampering with documents related to cases before her, Hunter's job and her freedom are in jeopardy. You can expect a battle royal on this one. Mike Allen, a defense attorney who served as Hamilton County's prosecutor from 1999 to 2004, said, as you know, 99.9% of the cases are plea bargained out. I fully expect this one to go to trial. Hunter, 47, became a juvenile court judge almost 2 years after the 2010 election and ensuing federal lawsuit. Originally, she lost the election to John Williams, but filed the lawsuit that ended when U.S. District Court Judge Susan Dlott ordered previously uncounted votes to be counted. After that count, Hunter was declared the winner. The most serious of Friday's indictments against Hunter accuses her of tampering with documents. In some of the cases before her, alleging that she backdated documents to prevent prosecutors from appealing her decisions against them, and a forgery charge, including forgery charge involving those documents. And that's one thing about dates and numbers. Dates don't lie. Certain things that you might be able to get away with, but then there's other things when it's date stamped, it might present a problem. I don't know. I'm just saying. Y'all with me?
So can I say something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they talk about the controversy with her when she first entered into her office. The controversy was that she would not allow news media to take pictures of youth in court. That was one of them, yeah. That she wouldn't allow them to do that. That's what really started everything. And from that point on, it was like it just kept piling up and piling up. Because legally, they're not supposed to take pictures of youth in juvenile court unless they bound them over as adults.
And I think it's going to get to that as we read further down. It says each of the 2 tampering allegations carries a maximum prison sentence of 3 years. The rest are low-level felonies that carry the presumption of probation. Based on what I've seen, Allen said, those first 4 counts involving tampering and forgery seem really strong. Remember, there were a number of juvenile court workers subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury. I think you can assume they were not good witnesses for Judge Hunter. Hunter's bailiff said Friday that Hunter would release a statement, but after the Ohio Supreme Court on Friday disqualified Hunter from being a judge based on her 8-count felony indictment. That statement wasn't proven to the Inquirer despite repeated calls to Hunter's office and cell phone. Hunter has repeatedly stressed that as a judge, she intends to protect the children who appear in her court and their rights. But that's exactly what she didn't do. The Hamilton County Public Defender Office noted in 18 lawsuits it filed against Hunter last year. Those suits asked the city-based Ohio 1st District Court of Appeals to force Hunter to rule on those cases because she hadn't in the time allotted by the Ohio Supreme Court. Those delays, the suits claim hurt the chances of children awaiting adoption or placement in long-term foster care. She has also been sued by the Inquirer over access to public documents and the public courtroom over which she presides. And that's what Elder Doc was saying, that there were public documents that she stopped the Inquirer from getting, and public courtroom and access to something in her courtroom, which she provides. Accusations also include helping brother using a credit card. The other charges filed against Hunter on Friday involve allegations that she used her office to help her brother. Stephen Hunter, a Hamilton County juvenile court worker who was fired for punching a teen inmate and using a county-owned credit card to pay for legal filings involving lawsuits against her. Now, when you use a credit card, there ain't no way the records show. And what I'm saying about this whole situation is I don't know. This is what is written here in the papers. But the point is all these charges were brought against her. She had lawyers. And what I'm thinking of as I read through this whole thing is that I'm sure that other people do it. And I'm sure that there were certain liberties that other judges have taken. But she took the liberties that other judges probably have taken, used her power as other judges have taken that were probably against the law, and they held it against her, which is legally fair. And like I told y'all before, is that when it comes to legal stuff, a lot of things as far as you can actually be, you can carry a gun legally. You can carry a gun legally in the state of Ohio, open carry. But let somebody who doesn't look like, in other words, depending on where you go. Now, if you're in your own neighborhood, it might be okay, right? It might not be a problem. If you go over to Montgomery or you go to Amberley Village, that same person, that road going with a gun out there, a person with dreads, dark skin, then they're going to probably call the police for inciting public riot. What do they call it? Inciting public panic? Inducing public panic. So what I'm saying is that a lot of laws are subjective. A lot of the laws out here are subjective, and it just so happened that we are not the subject that they let go free. And that is a proven fact over history, the history of the United States, and it is what it is.
Laws aren't set up for us.
Laws aren't set up for us. So what I'm saying about that situation is that our people in our community, Israel, us, while everybody else is out there screaming and yelling, and that's why it says that a bruised reed and a broken flax, we're not going to be out yelling in the streets. We as Israel. Because we as Israel know why these injustices are happening. We as Israel understand that, everybody else did it and got away with it, but we as Israel couldn't get away with it. And I think that's the problem that she ran into, not having that knowledge. And as we talked earlier, we talked about having peace, and we talked about having perfect peace. And the only way you can have perfect peace is knowing the mighty Yah. And like I said, it's very unfortunate about the sister. The reason why I brought this photo up right here is because when you look at this, I was out of town when this happened, and they said that when she was drugged across the floor and blah, 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 and I was like, wow. So then when I went and did some more investigation, go pull up the next video.
Okay, so we're here.
And that's, that right there. And if you make it big, first of all,
Okay, got it.
to the left, right there, yep. Now if you play that, then you might see a different account of what happened. And after I show this, I just want to get, everybody's opinion. Go ahead, play it. Play button. So we don't have the sound going. We can do the sound. Stop it if you don't mind. So the first thing we see, if you take it back a little bit, just take it back to the lady that jumped up. After the decision was given, you see where another individual. Did y'all see where the lady jumped up and ran over there? So that was part of what incited the panic right there. And then another part of it. Hold on. Let me mute this one. Stop it for a minute, please. No. So that was part of what incited it right there. And then the second thing was, I think there were other people yelling. Take it back a little bit. There were other people that were yelling. And I think she got overwhelmed. And once she got overwhelmed, she was going right there, and she started kind of getting faint. And remember, that's a sister right there that's trying to help her get out of there and also stop it. And you got to remember that it's also those deputies' jobs to also protect the person that's on trial, such as like if somebody was being convicted of murder up there, they wouldn't allow people to come up, because sometimes people's relatives get up and come running over there. I think they clearly knew that wasn't the case. But the lady that jumped up before, I guess, that's not the kind of behavior that we do in the courtroom. We as being Israel, it was a little emotional, and that's probably what sparked out some of the reaction. And like I said, as she went over, I don't know if she got excited and she fell, but the way that it was told is like she was dragged out. But that's clearly a sister trying to get her out of there. And I don't think the sister was trying to drag her out of there like it's been, huh?
No. Yeah, she wasn't trying to drag.
Okay, let's get the mic too. Let's get the mic, because I want more of my voice to be on here for when people look at it anyway. More than the cows, and I want them to know y'all see it too. Go ahead, play it. So then the lady just stopped right there, and I believe she told him to go get a wheelchair. Her eyes are open too, I don't know, but maybe she
was in the...
Yeah, she probably in a daze or something.
No, she wanted to be dragged like
But the thing, what I'm saying is that even there's another video, if you look up, if you let go of that one, minimize that, there's another video where they had her in the elevator, and that same lady was helping her out, they wheeled her in there. And she got up. So that's just some of the things that I saw. And one thing that I don't want you all to do is go to your jobs being mad at people and being mad about this happened, that happened. We want you all to have the right perspective on things. And that right perspective is that I don't know all the intimate details, but she was charged with these things. And from all the stories that I read, it just seemed like she took a little too many liberties that other judges take, but you can't get away with what they get away with. And that's just what happened, I think. That's my opinion. Yes, sir.
If you look at the video, when the woman came up and the deputy sheriff grabbed her, you can see her look at over toward that way, and then she kind of went out then. She stumbled backwards because she was going forward, and she just stumbled backwards into the the female deputy sheriff's hands.
Okay, any more comments? Please pass the mic. I think that's good. So one thing I will say is this right here. If you all look right there, that's after they had took her in the back. So I guess she had gotten better about that point. And one thing that I can tell you all is that she'll be in she will be held in, she's in the medical ward because number one of her condition, and then number two because she's a judge and they want her protected because she's ruled against people, so it's also their judge to protect their job, I guess, to protect her. So that's just kind of my opinion on kind of what happened. Like I said, I'm not intimately familiar with the whole story, but the thing is that we got to understand is that we cannot take on liberties. This is not our country. We can't take upon liberties that we see our white counterparts taking.
That's right.
Especially when you know that they may be against the rule book. In the book of Psalms, the 68th chapter, 64th chapter,
It's white privilege, not black
it
privilege.
says, hear my voice, O Elohim, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So the fact that she was the kind of person that stood up, she seemed like she didn't take no crap. When they did something against her, she sued their butts. So now, but when you do stuff like that, you gotta walk a straight line.
Yeah.
When you create things like that, I'm not gonna say create things like that, but when you're in constant turmoil in your job situation and you constantly running the HR, you constantly filing lawsuits, you have to use a bit of wisdom, which means you can't be stealing postage, you can't be late every day, because they're gonna watch every single thing you do. And they're gonna wait to that perfect time and they're gonna pounce on you. And I think that's my opinion of maybe what happened. Yes, ma'am.
Shabbat Shalom. My thing of it is, she has 6 months. That's it. There's people that do way more crime. Way more time when they did not do the crime. That's just like the Central Park 5. They were 16 and teenagers when they went to jail, and they did not do the crime. So the protesters standing in front of the judge's house and stuff, to me, it's unnecessary. To me, she did something, she got caught. Do your 6 months to go on with life. That's just my opinion.
And see, the deal around the 6 months, it's not even about the amount of time that she does. The deal is that for her to get off for 6 months, she has to say she's guilty for them to do that. And she's not willing to do that. So the other thing is that all they need for her to do is spend one night in jail as violating a federal law, which means she loses her law degree and everything else. She loses everything. She can't practice law, she can't be a judge, any of that. So a part of this is to making sure that she understands, and that we all understand, that when you step out of your place, you're gonna be put back in.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think one of the reasons why she did the appeals maybe because she had a lot to lose, And I'm sorry that the sister had to go through that. I'm honestly saying that. But I want our people to understand that we are, as we wrote in the book of Deuteronomy, who we are as a people. And that's the way Yahweh fixed things. We don't get those same liberties. And I guess she felt she did get them. And Yahweh had to let her know, no, you don't. Next person. And I think the another thing is that, we got anybody else? Nobody want to back me up?
They gonna come after me and you.
They gonna come after me and you? So like I said, again, it's really unfortunate that the sister went through that. And I know that there's like a lot of Israelites calling saying, oh, well, back her up, and we need to go march, and we need to go down here, we need to go down there. And it's my opinion that that number one, it is too much, and then number two, she got caught, like you said. Any other comments? And I'm sorry, I really feel sorry that was a prominent African-American sister that worked very, very hard to get in the position that she's in, So my heart does go out to her, absolutely.
Well, I think her colleagues probably getting a good thing out of this because maybe a lot of them didn't like her anyway, you know how it goes sometimes. They fake it to make it, so. But they probably also wanted her to, experience that. And maybe it's a good thing that she is experiencing it in a certain way because, a lot of our people, they they haven't experienced that, so they think that people that go through that, they think about them in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Some of them think that they deserve it, some of them think that they like it, some of them don't think it's bad. Some judges don't think jail is bad until they do it, until they go there, you know? I mean, just so many ways to look at it.
Yeah, it is. All right, yes, ma'am. Sister Beauty. And there could be opposing opinions. You don't have to agree with me. I just want to know how people feel about it. I mean, yes, ma'am.
I feel real bad for my sister because she is my sister, though.
Yeah.
But you did a crime, and then what you did 6 months is a slap on the wrist. But what Whitey was trying to do is what Miss Dot said. They just want her to do one day so they can take that title. That's all they trying to take, the title and the money.
She owed $43,000 in court costs.
Right. But I was I'll take that 6 months and keep it rolling because what you did carries more time.
Another scripture, let me read this real quick before we move forward. But when we talk about our people getting out there protesting, Isaiah 42:1 says, because I want to make sure I back it up with the word of Yahweh, so they can't say Mordecai said. Because see, that's what your enemy always do, or people who don't agree with you, they look for fault in what you say. It says, behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the streets. So we ain't going to be out there marching talking about freedom, civil rights, freedom for blacks. We already know what situation y'all put us in. And we know what situation, what it's going to take for y'all to get us out of it. It says, a bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he has set judgment in the earth. So we're not going to be discouraged over this situation. We already know, and that's what gives us that perfect peace. Knowing like, look, we already captives over here. And I remember I was going through an employment situation years ago. And I came to Moray Alicia, and I was talking to him about it. And I said, Moray Alicia, I said, let's turn it off. I don't know. People keep looking at that. I said, Moray Alicia, I explained the situation to him. And my sons know about it. I was coming home every day from work, discouraged, and they was like, Dad, you need to just quit that job. And see, this is the scripture that we read earlier. It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business, he shall stand before kings. He will not stand before mean men. So when you grab some type of training, when you get some type of education, it allows you more flexibility. Or if you have your own trade, if you have options, it provides you more flexibility to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to go and continue to deal with a boss that's going to disrespect me every day. I got to go to work and I got to fight with these people and I got to file lawsuits every other week. I don't want that kind of drama in my life. I want peace. So I got an option. I'm just going to go look somewhere else. And the more you empower yourself with education or with some type of educational training, young people, pay attention, young people. The more you empower yourself with those things, the more you empower yourself to be stronger later. You empower yourself with the right amount of flexibility to say, you know what, they didn't like me here, I'm going to go over there. Without having gaps in your job for 2 or 3 months and having additional problems. Or having to be able to just take it, you know. But sometimes y'all make us take it. But in any event, I came to Moray Alicia. I said, Moray Alicia, this was going on, that's going on. He said, what? He was like, ain't that beautiful? I'm like, what? He was like, ain't that beautiful? He was like, that lets you know that the word of Yah is true. And I had to go back and reflect on that, like, yeah, the word of Yah is true. That's what he said, that's what I was going through, and it is what it is. You know, so the Almighty Word said that the Almighty said his word will not come back void. And that's the bottom line. Yes, ma'am.
Giving all honor and glory to Yah by saying hallelujah. First, protesting, our people been doing that since who knows how long, and where we at? Still in the same situation, so to do this for one lady who did what she did, I don't think that's necessary. And then for her to be a juvenile judge, that says a lot because she's trying to strengthen our young boys. And by her having the power to change and get, because that's what they do. They put our young men under the age of 18 on TV and they blast them and they put them out there like they some animals, and she's trying to stop that. So I understand that aspect of it, but just know once you get into a certain position, they watching you, and they watching you while you're in law school. So they starting out early when they watching you because they knew she wanted to be a judge, and they did all these things to try to stop her, but the Most High put her in that position anyway. And he put her in that position to do what she did to make another example out of her. Don't matter how high you think you're going to go, they're still going to do everything they can to bring you down. And they're going to make sure they bring you down and try to keep you there. So protesting is irrelevant. She going to do her time, and whatever she get done to her, it is what it is. But we need to take heed and learn that the position don't mean nothing in this land. Your color don't mean nothing in this land. Only thing that matters is we continue to serve Yah, because He's the only one that could get us out of the situation, and He's the only one that could either make or break us. Either one. Hallelujah.
And sister, you bring up a good point. Give her a round of applause for that. And let me just say, she bring up a good point, because I don't care how much they protest, and if they get y'all to come out and protest 6 months later, it's still going to be the same thing. They are not reversing the charges, I'm telling y'all. They've already sent 6 appeals and 6, whatever they already did, I don't know how many appeals, it's over. It's a done deal. You know, so I don't care how much we get out there in March, if y'all think we're going to overturn it, I bet y'all $1,000 it ain't going to go nowhere. Right. Anybody who want to go out and march, let's put a bet on it. I'm just saying, because y'all have already proven what he's going to do and how it's going to work out. Yes, ma'am.
Shabbat shalom. So, I am like a little torn, right? This is my personality too. I always just consider, you know, all aspects of it, all angles of it. And one part I'm thinking is, one part I was thinking was, for what she did, right? I think she altered some records. I'm not, and that's the one thing I want to say too, is I really haven't followed this really at all. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't want to be speaking out of left field, and because I just honestly don't know details of it except for what I kind of heard today. But I'm thinking for what she did was alter records. Whatever she did, it's not her job to do it, but it's kind of like but the consequences that this woman is facing, right? We're talking about 6 months, but we are talking about a career, right? We're talking about a career of a woman that, if what I'm hearing is correct, a woman that went into this field, went into this to really help our people, right? She went into this to change some things. Like she said, just I'm considering the magnitude of she just saying, we're not going to put these babies' faces on the screen, because when they walk out of here, they, you know, somebody going to incriminate them just because they seen their face.
I don't know
like,
if it was a faces thing. I think
or whatever it was.
They're laws.
No, it was them.
It was a public records.
They took pictures of these.
Like on the news, so they'll say, hey.
Well, that's against law to do that anyway. You can't just put a.
They were doing it.
Okay. They working
I don't know if anybody's ever seen
just
a
for her
16-year-old.
Just for her clients, or all of them?
Like I said, I only know what's been told to me today. So, but I think that's huge. I think that's a step, and you know, for what it sounds like, this woman, her goal was to make some changes for us, and how just coming in Jump Street, that they were already like, no, this ain't your place, little nigga. You know what I mean? So, I think that that's extreme, and I'm trying to see it from her perspective. That this is ultimate, I think, for her. This is just overwhelming for her. Because yeah, we could serve 6 months, and you got people that do this and they serve 6 months, but this is her life that she's put into it from what it sounds like, she's put into it for her people, not just for her and for the dollars, but it's to make a change in our community. And now, it would be nice if she could just serve the 6 months and she'll still be able to be a judge, but this woman is ruined for the rest of her life for altering some documents, and I think that that's very, very extreme, that her life is ruined because of what she did. Again, I feel like it's like you're stealing post-it notes, and now you gotta go to jail because you stole post-it notes. Again, I don't know the levels and extremes, and I don't know the consequence for something like this typically, but, so,
That's a
just
good
kind of
point.
thinking about that, I do feel like protesting, I don't know what that would solve, but I would feel like if it were me, in her position, I would at least want to see my community support me, right? Whatever that looks like, I would want my people to show up because my people knew what I was trying to do, in our community, for our community, and to see that my community did support me or stand up for me or show up for me. I would want that, and I would think that in a way is that a way of being my brother's keeper, but I don't know if that's really true. We're just supporting them in some type of way, or saying something. I don't know that, but I'm just thinking if it were me, and from her perspective, I think that that's a bit much. Again, saying the same thing, like I don't know what protesting to do, but I do think too. Another important part is that we do see, kind of like Beulah said, whatever position you think that you're in, this is not your place, this is not your land, these are not your laws. So we have to deal with our positions in our place of work and whatever we do for the community, whatever. We have to deal with it with some type of discretion and foresight. And, we really have to do in any of our jobs for real, because as soon as you can throw them fringes on too, you being looked at like, so like the one sister said, so, but I think it's a lesson for our people, but I think it's to find out what really is the lesson and what can we learn from this lesson. Because again, I think this is what's happened to this woman. I think it's more something else is going to come out.
Yeah, I agree.
I think something that, because it's too much, and then the federal piece, like really the consequences that this woman is facing for changing some dates, and that's probably minimal compared to what these judges do for real. They putting people in jail, and what they're really doing, affecting people's lives with some of the decisions that they make. So whatever the consequences are, whatever it is, it just seemed like it's going to be a little bit more than something that's going to come out from this, because this is just way too much for this woman to have to deal with, for it to be her altering some documents or whatever she did. So that's all I have to say.
I agree. That's a good comment. Turn to the book of Job, the 9th chapter. The book of Job, the 9th chapter. And I do agree it's a bit extreme, because when you look at what other people have done, the problem is that we're not everybody. That's really just that's the part that hurts. And that's the part that sometimes that we have to face that harsh reality. I don't know, like I said, I completely sympathize with her. I know she put a lot of hard work into this, into her career, which many people who have, careers like that do. Go to the book of Job 9:24. Let me read that to you all. And to your comment, Keziah, this is what I dedicate Job 9:24 to. Y'all got it? Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is now given to the hands of the wicked. So we're going to see injustices. And I completely agree that it may be a bit extreme. But what I am going to say is I understand what had happened. I want you all to understand that the earth is given over into the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof And if not, where and who the hell is the wicked if it ain't this man who's ruling now? If it ain't those who are the injustices that's going on against our people, the unfairness in the system of how you can take a black man and a white man, they can do the same crime, but it can be different punishments for it. And what I'm saying is that Yahweh turned the earth into the hands of the wicked. And I just want us to understand this clearly from that perspective only. But I also believe that if this sister, if the Almighty is with this sister, and if it's something that I wish I could talk to her myself, because I believe she is a powerful sister. And I believe that she did do some things to help our people. But sometimes you have to realize that in order for me to continue to help my people, I can't be doing little oopsies on the side. I'm just saying. I mean, you know, it's a thing of, you know, like, oops, my bad. You know what I mean? Especially when you're supposed to be held to such a high esteem. And our judges were not allowed to twist judgment. The Almighty says you shall not rest judgment. And rest judgment means you're not supposed to alter in any fashion. You're not supposed to twist it. You're not supposed to alter it. And like I said, that was one of the things that she is not familiar with the laws of Yah. She's riding off of a wicked system. So she thought, well, I could be just a little wicked. Or I could twist a little. You know, I'm just saying, I could just, you know, if she did, is what I'm saying. And if she backdated anything.
And they do that all.
And they do it all the time.
All.
Behind the back doors. And I know that judges, they negotiate money deals all the time. That's why lawyers cost so much. So you can break the judge or the prosecutor off a little bit. The earth is turned into the hands of the wicked. And it's unfortunate for our people in this captivity. Yes, sir.
Praise y'all. I really know very little about the story. Kind of glad I stuck around. At the end of the day, you know, the Most High is that woman's judge. That story kind of reminded me of Daniel and the lion's den. That kind of, and how they couldn't really find fault with Daniel. So they had to kind of finesse the king and get him to throw him in the den. But it's been going on, it seems like, you know, when the Most High said that this kingdom is a beast, literally these people that rule this earth are beasts. And we just so happen to be, you know, we've been in other captivities before, but this captivity, you know, the white man is over us, the scum of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So it's really sad. And like he's already said, I don't know her intentions, but you know, whenever somebody is trying to do right and trying to go up against the system, first thing we got to realize is that the system was created by our Creator. Yes. And in the book of Daniel, it also says that many shall fall to try them and to purge and make them white even until the time of the end. But that is only for a time appointed. So this is going to continue to happen until our sentence here in this captivity is up. Yahweh's word don't come back void. We are in prison. We are in prison. If you try to break out, good luck. You know, your chances is very slim. But I think Yahweh stir up certain people's spirits because if Yahweh didn't stir up people's spirits, we would be so desensitized. We would still be walking around here with a different type of spirit. How could I say, a more docile spirit? People didn't try to attempt to at least try to break us free. You know what I'm saying? Try to at least make change in the system. And that's why I say, you know, the woman she had to be doing something right for her to be targeted like that. Right. Especially being, and it seemed like it just seemed like our support, man. We really got to support our people. Right. And, you know, we don't know what type of faith. She could have been an Israelite, for all we know. She could have been with the truth. You just never know.
She was a minister. I've read she was a Baptist minister.
She was a Baptist minister.
But you know, the thing is this, well, let me just say this. One thing we can do, we're going to pray for her before we leave here. And I think that's the best thing for us to do in support of her. The best thing for us to do is to try to pray for the sister. And I hope that if the Almighty is really with her, then this little thing that they doing, she going to get out 6 months or whatever. She can, and from what I heard, from what I read, I'll say, in a report, she can do what they call 3-for-1s. You can serve one and you can sign up on the list and say, I'm going to be a minister. And she is already a minister. She had a Bible study, they said, for the women. She's doing it now, but she didn't sign up on the official list to say, I'm going to sign up and I'm going to use this ministry and I'm going to get 3 for 1, which means every day that I minister, I'm going to get 3 days on my sentence. Which means that, what? She divides it into 2. She had 2 months, right? 2 times 3 is 6, right? So she'll have 2 months if she do the prison ministry. If she signed up for it, what I read is that she's doing the prison ministry, but she needs to be getting up on the list. She can sign up on the list and say, okay, I'm going to sign up on the list to do a 3 for 1, right? To do the prison ministry. But they said as of yet, she has not signed up for that program. So her sentence could still be cut. And what I'm saying also is that when she gets out there, if the Almighty is really with her, then she's going to climb the higher heights. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And do greater things. And I hope that's what she, I hope, and pray that she does, maybe even get turned to the truth of who Yahweh is one day. Right. Because right now she's a Christian minister, so I'm hoping that, we can somehow have a discussion with her and,
Yeah, it's just something to be mindful of and to consider.
But you're right though, man. You are right. But the thing is that we as Israel are going to have to pick and choose our battles. And from what I've read, I pick and I choose to say a prayer for her and let Yahweh do the work.
And sometimes I believe that's the best thing to do.
Brother Dawid, can I get a comment from you? It can even be an opposing comment. I just want to know your opinion.
All right.
And like I said, we're going to say a prayer for the sister before we leave and include her in our prayers.
Shabbat shalom. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of iffy about this whole subject matter. I do know a whole lot about it, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird because on one hand, considerably speaking, we are in the land of our captivity. And I feel like that's something that we should always remember no matter what, position of authority that we ascend to, whether it's, a high position like that she's in, or whether it's, anything that we really, really do, we always got to, be mindful, us as a people, whether we know Yahweh or not, even us that don't know Yahweh, we still have to keep in consideration that, we're always going to be targeted just because of the way that this society standards, holds us to. So with that being said, also considering the fact that, it's weird because, I done been in trouble before, for doing things that I know I wasn't supposed to do, and I know that it's other individuals right around me that done did the same stuff that didn't get in nearly as much trouble as I did. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, we are held to a much higher standard than more people might, or most of us actually think, or that we actually give ourselves credit for, a mistake, when we make a mistake, it is a much larger deal than when, other individuals around us make a mistake. And whereas, it is that, she tampering with the evidence, or the bottom line, from what I understood was, she actually used her authority to pull one of the kids' medical records to make her brother look good, you know what I'm saying? And that's like
the one that he assaulted, or was it?
Yeah, apparently I'm not really too sure about it, but I know the bottom line is that she definitely got a hold of somebody's medical records. That the bottom line is you're not supposed to be tampering with nobody's medical records. That's just the bottom line. Like in the medical world, that's like a really big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like you breaking so many codes just tampering with other people's information like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, me personally, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, on one hand, it's it's, I don't know, you would think it's such a big deal. It's not like she's going to jail for years and years and years. It's 6 months. It's just 6 months.
And I think the big thing, like he's asked, is the career gone down the drain too.
Well, yeah, but the bottom line is she hasn't been a judge for the past 5 years now. She hasn't been a judge for, for quite some time, And you have to understand, this is not like this is something that she didn't know that she was bringing up on herself, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be responsible for our own actions, you know what I'm saying? We gotta own up to our own responsibility sometimes in life. And that's not like that she shouldn't have understood that that was a potential of what was gonna happen. She just happened to get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people are sitting there making it seem like it's such an injustice that she's going to jail, you know what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, like, it's a punishment, you know what I'm saying? And it could carry a lot more time than what she's actually getting, you know what I'm saying? So ultimately, yeah, white people don't get as nearly as much time for the stuff that they do as us. Yeah, we all know that, but the bottom line is, like, it's still a punishment, you know what I'm saying? Like, for what, you know what I'm saying, for the crimes she committed. Am I saying that is right? No, but am I saying it is wrong? I'm definitely not, because it's like, ultimately, it's like when you do wrong stuff, you have to get punished for it eventually, some way, somehow. But it's not like she's getting the death penalty or something like that. She ruined her career, you know what I'm saying, nonetheless. But she did that on the pretense of something that she was not supposed to be doing. That's the bottom line. Whether she's targeted for whatever reason or not, because if she wasn't doing anything wrong, how is she being punished for something that she didn't do wrong? You see what I'm saying? Like, so ultimately, like, I don't know, I just, like I said, I'm really, really up in the air about it. I personally really, really didn't put too much emphasis on it because I didn't really look at it like it was that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's something that they done been saturating the news media with for the past week. I don't really think it's that big of a deal to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just came out of a situation myself. And the bottom line is I had to deal with some stuff, you know what I'm saying, because of what I did in regards to that. Now that ruined a whole lot of things in my future, absolutely. But did I bring that stuff on myself? I absolutely did, you feel me? Like, so, in my opinion, like, I really can't speak too much on it, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, like, there's always gonna be consequences for your actions. That's really all I gotta say about it.
Can I say something real
Yes.
fast?
Brother Rivers, would you make a comment?
So, has there ever been...
What did he say? No, I think we do. Okay.
He said, no, you don't.
Okay. Go ahead, excuse me. I know we absolutely do want to hear even opposing opinions. But
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna, and again, this is me saying I don't know all the facts, and I am really super torn, because I agree with that. Has there ever been an instance in the scriptures where somebody has done something wrong for the sake of their people or for their brother, to help their brother out?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is, so I can if I work at rallies and I see that somebody needed, you know, it's not my food, it ain't my job to be giving out free hamburgers, but I gave somebody an extra fry, right? I did wrong. Or if I work at, you know, I work at the hospital and I, you know, my people need this, so I'm gonna do this. And it ain't like I'm performing a free surgery, maybe they do that too, you know what I mean? So, because what I'm thinking is, I have, in my job, I have performed a service or given somebody something, for, you know, I have done something for this person to help them out when I knew that they couldn't do it themselves. Is this the same situation for her? Like, I guess, like she's trying to help her brother out and, you know, I don't know, I guess he punched some child in the face or whatever. I don't know the details of it, like, for real to even know. So I'm not trying to justify what she's done, but I'm thinking, if I work, you know, whatever job that I worked, if I have done something, or if I gave somebody an extra pack of Band-Aids, knowing daggone well they don't belong to me, but I knew they needed them, right? Or if anybody has done that, that's kind of how I see it, as somebody has done, yes, I've done wrong in my job, yes, I shouldn't be doing this because it's not, that's against the rules, but I've done it to help my people. I feel like, but I don't know, and that's why I feel this way, you know. I feel like in a way there's a certain type of mercy that Yah gives for people that may turn aside a little bit to help. Now, I ain't saying I'm gonna put $1 million of food stamps on your card, you know what I'm saying? But if I were in a position to help, maybe I'll
So you
help
saying that it was
a little bit.
okay? And let me ask you this. I'm just asking a question. I don't know. So for the child, there were allegations that the CEO may have punched the child and huh?
The CEO punched him basically, and the judge was pretty much was using her power to pull the inmates' records to prove that basically he's like mentally retarded or something, so he wouldn't be able to be, you know what I'm saying, held like accountable for it pretty much. And that's just not cool, because at the end of the day, you basically doing wrong to somebody else to help somebody else. Like, how is that right?
Now let me say this, and I bet you them CEOs be knocking niggas up, knocking folks upside the head all the time. I'm just saying. I believe that it happens in many, and especially if you see, especially the Caucasian ones that we've seen them do our people. Even the police in LA, how they beat our people. So I'm just saying, I mean, things happen, man. Is there a justification for it? You know, I mean, and the thing is that if, you know, and we want to pray for mercy on the sister. That's another thing. We want to say a prayer for her, and we want to say a prayer for mercy. Because it's not like, my whole point is not to say that that I'm condemning the sister myself. Like I said before, she took liberties upon herself like the Caucasians do. And they corner her. And she have to pay the repercussions. And what I'm saying is I'm so sorry for that, because it is just, you know, it's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? That her whole career had to be trashed because of that. But it is, you know, I don't know.
It ain't right when they do it. Like, it's just not.
No, it's not right when they do it either. It's just that they let each other go, but they thought they got her.
It's just not right, period. That's just all it comes down to. Like, it's just wrong.
Right. Anybody else? You sure, Brother Rivers, I really want to hear it? Yes, I do. I promise I do. Okay. Got it. Okay, that's enough said. Praise Almighty Yah. And on that note, we're going to adjourn our class. And as we adjourn, we will, before we go, King, we will say a special prayer for the sister. And I think that that's what we should do, because any petition that we take to the Almighty, taking a petition to the Almighty is a much stronger petition than going out as Israel rallying in the streets. That's my opinion for now. However, are there other circumstances? You know, there's different circumstances. So I'm not going to say for every single circumstance that, you know, because if somebody brought up to me one time, what if one of our children were murdered? Will we then take action? I'm just saying. You know, so I want to be fair in considering things like that, but in this case right here, if a child in our community suffered through that, what action would we take? You know, that's a tough one. You know, that's something that we would have to work our way through. You know, but the most powerful thing we got is the prayer to the Almighty. Let us rise and face the east. How many of y'all had a good Sabbath day today? Praise the mighty Yah, me too. Hallelujah. Almighty Yah, most merciful Father, we thank you, Yah, for our lives, Yah. And we thank you for the lives of our relatives, Yah. We thank you for the lives of our other brothers and sisters, O Most High. We also, Yah, thank you for a great Sabbath day today, Most High. And we ask you, O Most High, to please help your people, Yah, to please be with your people, Yah, and have mercy on us, Yah. And to please keep us focused, Yah, on what our goals are, Yah. What our goals are for getting closer to you are. We ask you, Yah, to please have mercy on us. And we also ask you, Yah, to please have mercy on our sister, Most High, Tracy Hunter. And Yah, if whatever's going on is a part of your plan, we ask you, Yah, to be with her, Yah, strengthen her, and to bring her to a place so that it can be known and it can be obvious that you were with her and that you caused this thing to happen. From the bad even to any good that may happen, Yah. We ask you to give her family, Yah, peace, Yah. And we ask you to give our community peace, Yah. We ask you to give the African American community, the black community here, those who know their Israel and those that they don't know Israel. Give them peace, Yah, and let them know that this is a part of your work, Yah. And please, Yah, help us to understand and help them to understand that there's going to be a lot more, Yah. A lot more of these atrocities that we're going to face. And please, Yah, keep our minds stable, Yah, so that we may be able to deal with them, Yah, with a stable mind, Yah, and with balance, Yah, and that we go to your word for everything that we do and every action that we take. In the name of Yah Most High, we say, Hallelujah. 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 Shema. Shema. Yisrael. Yisrael. Yahweh. Yahweh. Eloheinu. Eloheinu. Yahweh. Yahweh. Akah. Hero Israel. Yahweh our Elohim. mighty Yah bless thee. May the mighty Yah keep thee. May the mighty Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May the mighty Yah lift up his countenance upon each and every one of you and give you peace. Also, may the name of the mighty Yah rest upon each and every one of you. Hallelujah! 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 Praise the mighty Yah. Yah is righteous all the time. Yah is